Thank you for the story. Next up, we have Ryuko. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. And you are right now silent, Ryuko. Are you gonna do this through text? Alright. Well, if you need someone to read it out, I can read it out, but to prevent it from getting scrolled off, please do that over PMs.
It was the moment, people.
Yeah, let's see. I don't have you in my contacts, I apologize. Here you go. Alright, one moment, folks, before we get this story started. Yeah, again, I apologize for the wait. Here we go. Alright. I first found out about Toho back in 2013, both Naka's Let's Play of Toho fan games and also through fan fiction. There's more to come, I am willing to bet, so bear in mind while he types it out. Specifically, a crossover between Toho and Familiar of Zero. Yuka being summoned. Again, still typing, so. Alright, here we go. Yuka being summoned. I later found out about the wagon through Chirno Day, but I lurked for a while before joining. I really only was active for Walfus Rompa, and only marginally active elsewhere. And I think that's it. Alright, thank you, Ryuko. Thank you for your story. Alright, passing back on to Captain Face. Alright,
Is
it's
this working
working, it
now?
sounds like. It's working.
Okay. Sorry about last time. I don't know why it wasn't. Anyways, my story is kind of interesting as I started from the most unlikeliest places. It was around like mid 2010, 2011. No, 2011 and I was looking for a new medium to express stories and ideas in, and I had an encounter with perhaps a person I didn't expect to get me into Wapas, Mega Gundam Man. He was doing some artwork one day and he started talking about Wapas, and I was like, what's that? He showed me the program, and from there I started just to delve into it, and I started meeting a couple of other members from the defunct Wapas Club 2 who like Sagashi Industries and Watcher CCG. And from there, they just told me about Toho, and I actually started getting into the series not because of the gameplay, but because of the lore behind it. I was very impressed that one man was able to make a series this successful, and honestly, I couldn't choose a favorite character because there was too many to enjoy. From there, I ran into Kaguro Inku and Spastique and such. Kaguro was gonna start working on the Crossroad, and I was like, I may not be a major member, but can I at least help out? And she said sure, and I did. And then I saw this is the first Waffus animation I ever saw was Diamond in the Rough, which is probably a rough thing to start on. And then after that, it just sort of evolved from there. I got into Toho, I got into Waffles, and started just experimenting with comics and such, and I enjoyed the community that this was all around, and I was able to help take it a step further by getting panels at conventions and by encouraging a more, what's the word? I guess you could say a more interactive community, or something like that. Yeah, I will admit I'm in a bit of a slump right now, but that's because there are several things going on in my life. But I'm glad to be a part of the Waffles community where I am now. I don't regret anything that I've done in it, and I hope good things are still to come for not just the entire community, but for anyone else. And I think that's mostly it.
Alright, next up
Okay.
is Red
Anyone can
Beats.
hear me?
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
can hear you,
we
Red
can
Beats.
hear
Anyone can hear me, huh? Oh, okay. Well, I know 2008
Oh,
video called Make Us Your Bride. I discovered
there
World
we go.
Pass as Standard Pirate Girl in 2009. Yes, I might consider as one of the eldest World Passers, but I quit it because of reasons. Yes. And then, fast forward to end of 2013, I returned to the Walfast community as yours truly. And the rest of it are history. The end.
Alright, Combaticon.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
there you are.
Wait, one quick second. Huh. It's, give me a second. Alright, there we go. Alright. Now, how I got into the Waffles community was also how I got introduced to Toho. Kind of. I'll explain. Many years ago, in the magical years of 2011 and 2012, roughly around there, I forget, back during when I actually did back the days of role playing in the cesspool known as Facebook. An old friend, I haven't talked to them in a long time, just one day randomly threw me into a roleplay community for Toho. Obviously, my first reaction was, what the hell is Toho? But I decided to go through with it and join in. But since I did not know what any of the characters were at the time, I was too arsed to do any of the research, I decided to choose the roleplay as a Gappy, even before the term was coined. Yeah, you guys can probably figure how that turned out, constantly dying and all that. But I still enjoyed it. Soon, the community kind of died, like a business going bankrupt, and we all were kind of separated. Yet, even then, I was still kind of curious as to what Toho was, and I just decided to start looking at YouTube, the only other website that I knew at the time. But then that was when I was introduced to Bit Zero V's Office sketches. The jokes there were pretty funny to me, and the Office style kind of fit that whole humorous tone pretty well. Then I started going deeper, then I found Sivo's stuff, mostly like the dramatic reenactments of like the bad Toho fix, which, let me be honest here, was absolutely hilarious when I saw that. Um, and then digging in even deeper, I ended up finding Spastic and his wide array of different things: sketches, his riffings with Steve-O, his gameplay, and Ditter, which was about like 3 episodes in at the time. I became a big fan of those three people, even if each wanted to distance themselves from Toho. But anyway, I then found I was like I said, I was a big fan, but then I found out one day I can actually be more than a fan I'd be more than a fan if I joined what I found at the time the so-called Walfus station wagon. But I was a little shy back then, so I kind of made myself slowly climb my way up. Like, I didn't just immediately just set myself up as a member. I just started becoming friends with some of the people. Like, I joined in at those old Costins Book Club meetings back when they were like on Skype and all that. And then the time where everyone moved to raid call happened, and I thought, hey, maybe this could be a good chance for me to actually talk to the other members. And so I decided to hop in. Not surprisingly, only people who were members of the book club knew who I was. The rest just didn't know who I was at all. But and I still wasn't even a member yet. I just started slowly becoming friends with some of you guys here, and and it was around like July of last year. I decided to make myself officially a member of the wagon by making a DA and joining all that. And well, that's pretty much all that happened. And being here for the longest time, people are awesome to talk to. Great, great people. And that's pretty much my story.
Alrighty.
How do I get?
You alright. Alright, folks. Well, it looks like that's the list cleared of everybody who wanted to speak. Now, I would like to mention times have been limited with the story. Not everybody got to speak their full experience on what had happened, including myself, since there was plenty more to say. So keep an eye out for the town hall minutes that will come out later, because in that place, I will, and many of us will allow you to share your full stories there. So get those drafts ready, because there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of length if we're going to share our stories in full there.
I hope to get this one out much quicker than last time.
Yeah.